Thank you for plugging into this Family Life News podcast, streaming issues-driven, family-focused news.
And welcome back to another edition of Issues in Education. Mondays during the Noon Report, we talk about the issues that matter most to our public schooling families with the one and only Dr. Ralph Kerr at the Teaching and Learning Institute. Ralph, you've worked at all levels of education, from academia to administration. Maybe some of our listeners don't know this, but you were a superintendent of a local school district in the area a while ago, so you've seen it all in the classroom. Just put yourself in the shoes of our school administrators, namely the superintendents right now, and the struggle they must be going through in this pandemic, not knowing what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next with these school closures. Talk about what they're going through right now.
Well, I appreciate the question because my heart goes out to everybody involved in education just now. There are so many changes, and certainly for the superintendent who has the big picture in every district, it's a case of trying to, first of all, accomplish the mission of educating the children, but then with that in mind, trying to figure out how do you keep the children and the teachers and the support staff safe while you're trying to educate the children. And then compounding the issue is the fact that between the governor and the state education department, the rules seem to be changing so frequently that one day you've got to test everybody that's in your care. The next day, no, we're not going to do that. And superintendents are just being pushed back and forth by all those competing forces, which makes their job very, very difficult in these trying days.
Yeah, not knowing how long this may go on. It's not like a snowstorm where you can say, okay, in 2 days we're back to normal.
Right.
I heard estimates as far out as 2024 that this kind of, boy, I hope that's wrong, because I don't know if I could take it that long, but it's the uncertainty. And another one of the sad sidebars to this pandemic, Ralph, has been the toll it's taking on children's emotional health. We've been talking about it on this program for a long time. Not having sports, not having extracurricular activities, not having those friendships in school, those human contacts. What sort of impact is that having on the overall health of children?
Well, it's having a significant impact. The study was just released by Boston University that shows that particularly teenagers, 52% of the teenagers that were surveyed, and this was a huge survey, said that they were much more concerned than usual about their health, both in terms of their physical health and their mental health. They said that they have symptoms of increased worry about things, loss of sleep, feeling depressed, and this is the big one for me, the loss of confidence in themselves. Because if a youngster, begins to lose confidence in themselves, that just brings on, again, all of the other issues that we've talked about. Yeah. And I want to just give a word of encouragement to our listeners today that if you're involved either personally as far as your own children, or if you have other children that you come in contact with, be sure to reach out to them and let them know that you care about them and that others care about them, and obviously that Jesus cares about them as well.
My heart breaks for, it's not all Leave It to Beaver days either, where these are strong homes where kids are coming from. A lot of these homes are abusive homes, alcoholic homes, substance abuse homes, and the only safety a lot of these kids have is at school, and they don't have that now.
That's very, very true, and it's a sad statement, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the shelter-in-place orders have done us no good service either when it comes to what that's done to our childhood obesity rate. Talk about that for a little bit, if you would, Ralph.
Well, listen, talk about obesity, Bob. I haven't seen you for a while, so I'm not going to make any judgment about you, and you haven't seen me either, but I can tell you this. I know I've been less active, and I put on some pounds during the last 6 or 8 months, and children are no different. But the concern is that with all this period of inactivity, like you said, no sports, even no recess at school where younger children have a chance to be active, that's not a good thing. And again, let me just encourage our listeners to try their very best to encourage their children or other children to be active. They need it at this time.
Well, if there was a time for the church to step up, now is it. Everybody doing their part, and Ralph, you are certainly doing your part, keeping us informed on these important issues. If folks have questions about the great work going on at the Teaching and Learning Institute, where can they find you, Ralph?
Thanks, Bob. They can simply go to yrun.org, yrun.org.